just waiting on a text from Scott. I think everybody is getting ready to go, though, from the looks of it, from what I can see on the feature. But what we've got, if you haven't seen the post of the start list on our official Facebook page, Canadian Freestyle Canoe Kayak, which might have broken, so I'm going to have to try reloading that and reposting that. There is an official start list, which I see now I will have to repost. But the official start list from our head judge, Trevor Happy, we have in Heat 1, combining Cadet and Junior, Cayman Painter, Cadet, Josh Cardinal, Cadet, Julien Boucher, Cadet, Vance Lenz, Cadet, Luc André, and Emeric Germain. So that's going to be our first heat. Bibs number 29, 5, 36, 97, 1, and 12 in that order. We'll be starting off. I hope everybody in the stream can hear me. Hope it's working well. It's the first time we try this out, so very excited. Hopefully we can slowly increase the quality of this over the years as well. Try to get more whitewater kayaking to everybody from everywhere in the world. But yeah, back to our start list. That kind of rounds up our cadets. Heat 2 is going to be Isaac Crawford, Jaden Bulin, sorry if I mispronounced some names here, Eric Holroyd, Zachary Stansfield-Jones, and Nevin Hindmarsh. Heat 3, all again in the juniors and cadets, we have Bennett Whalen, Matthew Cardinal, James Van Gelswick, who actually is all the way out west following a victorious first place finish in the Eastern Trials in Valleyfield, Quebec 2 or 3 weeks ago. So congratulations on that finish. He's back out west now to see if he can claim that another title in the juniors. And then Lyndon Gilman and Menno Frazen. That's heat number 3. And the final and fourth heat is going to be Blake Booth, Pascal Fels, Kai Wetter, Benjamin Gulaska, and Jordy Monroe. I believe, looking at this, I still have no I haven't fully had this clarified yet from Trevor. Actually, maybe there is. I see a message. So yeah, I believe we are waiting on the start of the first rides still. That was the warm-up and training you saw. So we're just a few minutes behind schedule, but that is all good. It's going to be a long day. I hear that the mic could be a little louder, so we're going to turn that up. Hopefully that sounds a little better. But yeah, so this is going to be a long day. We have a massive turnout for this year's event, which is incredible. We got 4 entire heats of junior men, a full, you could almost do 2 heats of junior and cadet women, which is fantastic. And senior men, you've got 2 full heats, and then we've got a full heat of senior women as well. So basically the format is, for those who are not familiar with the freestyle world, even for those who are, it's not we don't necessarily follow the ICF standard for our preliminaries. We go with a standard followed by CKC for quite a while. Oh, I hear the audio's panned all the way to one side as well, so we're going to go and fix that. Thank you, Hojo, for being an absolute legend. Let's turn that mic to mono. Hopefully that's better. That might be some of the audio issues. But yeah, so basically we follow a 4 rides, best 2 counts in preliminaries, in the preliminary event. So each heat's going to go, they're going to each get 4 rides, and the 2 best rides combined count. Then we're going to cut, from the look of it, straight to finals for all of these. So that's going to be an aggressive cut. We're going to cut straight to the top 5 athletes per category. So junior men / cadet men We're cutting down from I believe that's 21 down to 5. Junior cadet woman will be cutting from 6 to 5. Senior men from 10 to 5. And senior women will go straight into finals. And from the looks of it, this is going to be ride number 1 from Cayman Painter. He's going to drop it into the feature here, looking to maybe get a bit of a cartwheel, but catches a bit of an edge. And that's going to be it for that first ride. I don't know if, see if he can make it his way back up. I actually didn't get clarification whether it is attainable or not. So maybe I will check in on that real quick.
David, we're calling the flush and done here at this competition today.
From the looks of it, it is attainable. He's just checking to see if he's still got time. So basically each ride 45 seconds to try to accumulate as much as you can. I'm guessing it's attainable based on how hard he was paddling, but we're going to know it's flushed out. Okay, so non-attainable, it's a flush out. Official confirmation from Scott Best and our head judge. So that's going to be it for ride 1 for Cayman Painter. So now we're going to move over to our next in the line, Josh Cardinal, and I'm going to try to keep an eye on the start list, make sure that everything is looking good with the bib. So our bib number 5, Josh Cardinal, our second cadet to go today. He's just waiting on the thumbs up from the judges. And here he goes, dropping into the feature, Chubby's wave, looking for that setup, maybe setting up for that spin, looking to spin it to the left there. Maybe now looking for that spin the other direction. No, going for the cartwheel, trying to catch that end. Seeing if you can accumulate those points. Again, you have 45 seconds to try to score as much as you can. You cannot repeat a trick more than once, so you can do a spin left and a spin right. We're seeing a lot of really nice spin lefts here. See if you can get a spin right to get an extra 10 points on, but he's still looking for that cartwheel, trying to find that 40 point. Maybe bringing the end around, plugging for the loop, but just not quite finding the power there. And that's going to be ride 1 from Josh Cardinal.
Excellent boating, excellent boating. Next, it looks like we have number 97.
So I'm not 100% sure if we're going to have access to all of the scores live throughout this. At least not for the preliminaries. It's a lot. So I will probably I'll definitely know the results of preliminaries near the end. But finals will often move towards after every single run we announce the score, which allows the reverse seed order in the eddy, the ability to kind of figure out what they need to do and see what they need to best. So there seems to be the thumbs up for Julien. Sorry if your name is in English. Looking for that spin, linking it for the loop, trying to bring it around. That's some aggressive start from our third cadet today, looking to spin to the right, trying to retain the feature. He does manage to stay in. This is a really good ride so far. We'll have to see what happens with that loop, see what the judges are giving. Looking to plug it in again, maybe for the Space Godzilla, which is a loop with a 180 rotation on the, I'm going to get this wrong, I think Y-axis. Mind you, that might have been Vance, according to... so maybe the start list on my end is wrong, so that might have been Vance here. Yeah, I think Julien is grayed out, so I'm not sure why. Maybe it's a different order. But thanks to Scott for letting me know that that was Vance. I believe that was bib 97. We'll know when we see this bib number here, because our next up should be Luc André, bib number 1, or Émeric Germain, bib number 12. Let's have a look.
Yep. Greenland with Calgary. That's where he comes from. Oh, taking the wave.
Oh, I cannot see the bib number, unfortunately.
From above. He catches the back half. Paddle hard, Buster. Keep it up. Keep it up. Don't stop. Don't stop. Go, go, go. Go,
I'm going to give it
Well, I'm looking
a look, Andre.
see if he actually clutched the wave. Yeah, I don't think he did what's called establishing a surf. So usually, you need to go
Weirdly, the bib numbers don't seem to be very large on these bibs, so I apologize if I'm using the wrong terminology on this, but I believe that that was Luc Andre looking for his first ride, but unfortunately catching a bit of a flush. So theoretically, this will take us
rock solid. It does come down to the judges, right?
to... Okay, that's Luc Andre still going, I guess? Okay, it is attainable still. My bad, a little bit of confusion. Oh, okay, there we go. Apparently never established a surf. So to start your time, you need to actually establish a surf on the feature for your time to start. So the judges in that case deemed that there was no surf established. So time has not started yet. We'll see if that one was established or not. It is up to the judges' call. We've got a panel of 3 judges and a head judge there. Head judge Trevor Lahappy from Ovive, Quebec. It looks like we're now going to Emmerich, who's going to choose to go low into the feature, try to get a good angle, not quite managing to catch it. We'll see what he's got now. So you can kind of paddle back up just off the side of the screen on the left there, just behind that rock. It's a nice, we saw some video coming from Daryl kind of rebuilding that eddy up for all the paddlers, trying to make get the river ready to go. So never attained to going again for Emmerich. Our final paddler of this heat.
That's right. We get to call out the rafters on their way through. Look at this boat of lovely people.
We also see some of the rafters come down. Give them some space. Don't want them to hit any of our paddlers. If any of you guys have never been to the Kananaskis River, it is absolutely stunning. Water is nice and chilly, very clear. Feels like you're taking a bath in the cleanest water you can find in the world. And here it is, manages to attain a surf. Emmerich Germain looking to try to set himself up on the left shoulder, but does get a little bit of a flush. So that might be it there for his first ride. So that pretty much rounds out that heat's first rides. We're going to move on to ride number 2 of 4. So again, everyone gets 4. Oh, maybe going again. I'm not sure. I get more texts constantly, but I don't believe so. I think we're going back to the top of the heat here with Cayman Painter. Ride number 2. Looking to establish a solid surf. Trying to use that surfer's left shoulder to get himself on the top of the foam pile. Chubby's not the largest feature, but plenty of depth and plenty of, like, it's so soft and smooth to paddle in, so you can get away with a lot of tricks. And there is that spin. He's going to set himself up, maybe spin the other direction. We saw him try to go for some cartwheels in his first ride. There's a spin left. Unfortunate flush off the back. He really wants to get back in there, but that's going to be it for ride 2 for Cayman Painter.
Next up is Josh. I paddle with Josh. He's always got a smile on his face and that look that, like, yeah, I know what's going on. It's like that.
There we go, Josh Cardinal, bib number 5. Second ride, dropping into the feature. It's a pretty cool setup where you can actually paddle up above or go from the side. kind of choose whether you want to do that entry or not, and he's going to go for that spin. Unfortunately, flushing off of that surfer's left. It's a dangerous little corner because you feel safe. You feel like you can really get away with moving far onto it to get back onto the foam pile, but it's such a soft and slow feature that if you just flush a little too far off to the left side, you're never making it back in. So that's what these paddlers are doing. They're playing that balance off to that side, trying to find the perfect setup. And now Julien Boucher, bib number 97, dropping in, looking for the spin left, super aggressive, going for the huge loop, almost bringing it all the way around. Sorry, it is Vance. This is the second time I've done that. I think I need to delete Julien's name from my OBS here. But Vance has been so aggressive, just dropping into the feature, looking for that spin, trying to link it to the loop. Unfortunately, it hasn't seemed to come around, but we'll see what the judges have to score. Again, there are 3 judges, 1 head judge. Each judge judges independently based off of their training. And let's say that you'll see some .33s at times. Well, that might be, you know, 2 out of 3 judges, or I believe that's 1 out of 3 judges, has decided to score this. But now we're going straight into Luc André. So trying to attain the feature, not quite finding it. But yeah. So even if 2 out of 3 judges counted the scored the trick, you take that average, and that is the score that is given to the athlete. Also, the head judge can make official calls as well. There's a lot more detail. So yeah, that's a never attained the feature. He's going to be going back again.
Go paddle on the wave. Let's go, Paul.
There he is from that bottom left of the screen, trying to drop into the feature, not risking that right shoulder, seeing if he can catch it. There it is. He manages to attain a surf. Unfortunately, flushes off to the left side, and that should be it for ride 2. Now remember, all these guys, they're all cadets, which means I believe it's under 14, so these guys are absolutely rocking it on the water. I remember being that age and you're so small, you just get tossed around on every single feature. You try to gain some control, but it's a lot of fun. And it's super fun to see these guys out here because they are the future of the sport. They are who is going to be coming back up, taking over the junior category and eventually the senior category. So can't wait and hope to see these guys at Worlds one day. And there we have Emmerich. A beautiful, clean catch of the feature, but surfs a little too far over to the left, and that's going to be a flush.
Hey, competitors, if you flush off and you want to get a little ditty on the back here, I show you this. It's fun for all of us to watch.
We're going to be going back to the top of this heat. All the way back up to Cayman Painter for 3rd rides already. And I think today's going to be pretty quick. There's a lot of athletes trying to get everything done before evening. So we might not see too many breaks. So sometimes there might be a few times where I don't get the user interface here in the overlay quite right. But I will do my best as we move throughout the day. Got lots of names, lots of PNGs to try to put in the right spot as we go. But I think it's working pretty well. Maybe one day we'll get a fully autonomous system to go with this, that the judges can just beep boop and then I get things to put on the screen. That would be pretty cool.
If you are able to accomplish a loop and a spin, there's a high chance of winning this competition. So, take that, put it in the memory bank, use it what you can or what you will.
Also, thanks to everybody coming in on the on Twitch as well, getting involved with the community. This is going to be kind of a spot where I'm going to try to get more whitewater paddling to pretty much everybody in the world. Try to get more events, slowly but surely. Hopefully even get some slalom going. Need to see if I can get that kickstarted here in Ottawa at the Pump House. That'd be pretty incredible. But before I keep yapping, we're going back to the top. Cayman Painter rides 3 of 4. Beautiful control catching that feature. Looking again to spin on that shoulder and does manage to bring it around. A little bit scary on that stern. Surfing all the way back to the right. A little bit of a hand paddle there. Not sure if he's going for some style. But unfortunately, a bit of a flush off the left side. And we're going to be quickly moving on to our next paddler, bib number 5, Josh Cardinal.
Or do you like this microphone?
Here we go. Josh dropping into the
Or
feature
Number two. Oh, yeah.
for his third ride here. Nice and controlled in the middle, catching a bit of that stern end, maybe trying to start a cartwheel from reverse. Can sometimes be easier on these smaller features, especially if you struggle to get the nose down of the boat. You can kind of catch that stern, and again, a cartwheel doesn't have to be bow to stern end. It can be stern to bow end as long as there are 2 consecutive ends over 45 degrees, I believe under 90 degrees. For that to count, and he was just trying to link those up, trying to get that verticality on the ends, but wasn't quite able to make it. But again, we aren't the ones making the calls. There are judges for that. So we're going to be moving on next to, finally, I will get the name right and the decal correct, Vance Lenz, bib number 7, dropped in from the feature, our most aggressive paddler to date so far, immediately going for that left spin, plugging for the loop, bringing it all the way around, and he retains the feature. That's our first perfect loop that we've seen today, so fantastic job. Looking to spin it up to the right side, see what he's got next. Maybe some cartwheels, spinning it back around. And what's really cool is you see him try to link those spins into the loops for the link bonus. You get a bonus on both tricks, which is absolutely huge. And there, linking it again, just in case he didn't get it, retains the feature. This is an absolute fantastic third ride here from Vance. Catching a bit of an end, and that's going to be it. But that was superb out of Vance for his third ride. Can't wait to see what he's got for the fourth.
Give it a nod to everybody out here. All right.
And again, shout out to the people joining on Twitch as well. If you have an account, you can chat us up, get involved, join the community. We got some non-paddlers in here, such as Blake JH, and also a paddler that a lot of people might know pretty well, BMX Daniel Meisenheimer, who absolutely stunning performance at the Eastern Trials, and if you missed it in Millau in France at the World Cup, absolutely just flattened the competition in the semifinals with 1,000 and I believe 65 or something like that point ride, single ride. So it's pretty cool to have him here in the chat joining us, watching the event. But as now we have Luc Andre waiting for the thumbs up from the judge. There's a clarification from Daniel. Is 1,020 points is what he managed to get at the Worlds in Millau, so it was fantastic. Lots of Canadians supporting our athletes around the world. And that's why a lot of people are here at this event as well. This is also the western half of our national team trials for qualification to the World Championships next year in Sort, Spain. And oh, unfortunately, catching a bit of an edge. Luke trying to catch the middle of the feature, and unfortunately out of the boat. Maybe we saw a skirt implode a little bit, but we got the safety boaters going to grab him. It's a really friendly river, so everything should be fine, but we might get a little bit of a pause here as we wait on him to get back to shore safely before we move on to our last paddler of the heat. As we see our next heat getting ready in the eddy, dropping in from below. I think we're going straight into Emmerich. My apologies if it's either French or English. I'll just use both. Trying to catch the feature. Catches a bit of a nose, but he's going to have a second chance, I believe, because it doesn't look like he managed to attain the feature. I'm going to have to get, as we get further down in these heats, I'm going to have to get myself a little timer in front of me so I can count those 45 seconds. Didn't quite have the time this morning to get you guys one on screen for visuals. I was hoping to have some audio, but unfortunately nothing there. Maybe I'll have to troubleshoot for the next one. Try to get some audio running. So yeah, surf not established. They're just waiting on safety to get set back up. Shout out to the volunteers helping run this event, including safety boaters. They basically sit in the water doing nothing all day to make sure everyone is safe. But here he goes, catching the feature. Emmerich managing to try to spin it around, retains it, catches a bit of a stern edge, and flushes out the back. He's trying to get that roll back up. And super tired after a few runs. That's going to be it as our safety boaters jump into action, get him back to shore and back in his boat for his fourth rides.
Moving along here, we have Able Demolition Services. They contribute quite a lot to the beauty and grandeur of the Kananaskis River here. They pretty much supply all of the heavy machinery and work and all the technical things that actually get the job done.
So as we're starting our fourth rides here, just since we see a little bit of a pause here, so it's probably safety getting ready again. Heat number 2 of our junior/cadet men's. Now we're pretty much only juniors from now on. We are going to have Isaac Crawford, bib 10, bib number 2, Jaden Berlin. I apologize for that name. Burlin. Bib number 16, Eric Holroyd. Bib number 32, Zachary Stansfield-Jones. And bib number 15, Nevin Hindmarsh.
Let's go.
So yeah, it looks like we got the thumbs up here for back to the top of the heat. Cayman Painter. Fourth and final ride. Let's see what he's got for us. Spinning it around nice and fast, trying to get back in the feature. Good power. He's going to plug for the loop, but doesn't quite get the pop, kind of popping over to the side and flushing out of his final ride.
For nationals today, Alberta, Whitewater slalom. A lot of you paddlers have touched to build amazing skills with them, and we just want to put our hands together for Alberta slalom. Co-packing the Pan Americans. We have Canada Kayak Canoe, right? The CKC.
There's the thumbs up. Ride 4, final ride of these preliminaries. Josh Cardinal. Drop it in. Nice controlled surf right off the bat. Spinning it around to the left. And looking for that huge, those huge scores and trying to get the loop, but maybe plugged a little too high up in the trough, and you see that bow might have caught a bit of a rock down in there, just ejecting him off the back of the feature. So that's going to be it for fourth and final ride for Josh Cardinal. And now to Vance Lenz, who had an absolutely fantastic third ride. Spin to loop to spin. He's dropping in, going for that spin again, looking for that plug. He's plugging really aggressively on that left shoulder, and it might punish him, and it does. Just catches a little too much of a flush, and oop, there's some wood coming down. Maybe a tree decided to join the party. Very glad that Vance managed to get out of the feature before that joined him.
And the last sponsor I want to throw out today is Alberta Whitewater.
Getting hit by wood or ice paddling is never fun. Definitely hurts, and we don't want any of that.
And I also want to throw out a big thank you to all of our sponsors.
So that looks like it's going to be end of heat. Maybe Luke and Emmerich choosing to... Oh. No, okay. It was a mistype here. I've just been told that they are going to take their fourth runs. We're just waiting on them to get ready. So we're going to be going with Luc Andre.
Everybody take a look around. The sun is shining. The water is flowing. Doesn't get much better than this. You'll think back later on in your life. Wow, this was the spot to be. This was the moment to be in. Doesn't get much
Really
better
too
than
bad
this.
we
But
don't
that
have
makes
any
our lives
audio
still going.
of the feature. I don't know if any of you guys think you need some music to go in this. Not really sure. Or maybe I just get some like Whitewater sounds. That could be cool. Also a reminder for people in here, we also have one other discipline that is trying out. It's the Squirt Kayak competition. Basically, it's a category of freestyle. It's the origins of the sport originally when people started flattening these really long kayaks to see if they could do tricks and suddenly discovered you could sink in them. So, boom, new sport came out of that. Yeah, so our team trials for that category or for that class are video submission due to the nature of finding a good spot to sink. And that deadline is coming up pretty soon. I'm gonna misquote this potentially, but I think it's after Nationals, so the 9th. So there's instructions on the Canoe Kayak Canada website under freestyle, and you can see the squirt boat selection criteria and video submission on there. So if you're planning on trying out, or if you haven't tried out yet, make sure you go check that out. Oh, I do see browser audio now. Have you guys had water audio this entire time and I just haven't been able to hear it? Oh my. I'm gonna turn that to monitor and see if that works. You have. Kind of.
Tanner, thanks for safety goes, bud. Take a ride on the hole. Oh.
You guys do have audio. Okay, that makes me super happy. At least there's something. I might turn some gain up on that. I didn't have monitoring turned on for that input. Again, we're just waiting on our last two competitors, the cadets. They did have a swim, so they're getting themselves back up and ready, back into their boat, ready for their fourth run, before we move on to our next heat.
Medic, we need a medic. We got a squirter.
Oh, they got music going on there. I'm gonna turn this up. I'm gonna see if I can get a modifier on this browser source. Filters. Audio. Yeah, that might be a little bit better. You guys can let me know if it's too loud, too much.
Yeah,
Okay, I've been told,
we
yo, way too much.
competition comes with a complete first aid kit. It consists of a band-aid
My bad for your ears on that one.
and like maybe some poly, and the other half of the kit has dirt on his hose. Nice. Eric's chucking those rocks across the river. We might have to have a rock throwing competition after this. The only rule is, if you unsafety the safety boater, you have to become the safety boater.
While we wait, let me see if I can pull up some useful information for people, so you guys aren't just sitting there.
Eric, we're not telling you to stop. You can keep going, just don't hurt anybody. One more, let's see. Let's check out the baseball. All right. We got Luke.
Oh, here we go. Right as I'm about to try to do something, we get Luke coming in. Luke looking for his final ride, attaining the feature from up top, trying to spin it around, but unfortunately flushing off the back, so I believe with that being an attained attempt, that's going to be the final, but he's still having fun. He's catching the second wave little back there. You can't score any tricks on it, but we love to see the enthusiasm, and we love that they're having fun out there on the water, because at the end of the day, that's kind of the point.
Number 29. Yeah, David. We are ready for you.
And now for our final competitor in this first heat of cadets, Emmerich Germain, surfing nice and controlled into Chubbies. Looking for the surf, trying to spin it to the left, not quite finding it. Unless it's the same person. I might be a little confused here, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. I don't know, I gotta check the start list. There's been too much of a break and my brain's failed. Yeah, I think that was it. That was Emmerich Germain. Now we just have Josh Cardinal going in for some fun surf. He's already had his full ride, so we're going to be moving in shortly to the next heat. So heat number 2 of the juniors. Get all those names up. I believe we are starting off. We're going to be starting off with Isaac Crawford, then Jaden Buline, Eric Holroyd, Zachary Stansfield-Jones, and Nevin Hindmarsh.
Stands on the wave. He knows spin left. There's a little bit of verticality on that spinner left. He wants to spin to the right. Good. Excellent.
So we're just going to wait for our next heat to get started here. I'll just hide the names so we don't have anything. Right now we're just seeing Vance just having fun throwing down after his heat. He had a great performance. Oh, I forgot I have a replay feature. I'll try to get you some replays later. Look at that Space God attempt. Bringing it around, retaining the feature as well. It's amazing to see out of cadets.
Followed by what? That was a he was reverse me. That's a trophy move, everybody.
Let's try our replay feature. I think it's
there's like an upside down shoving. Can you do that again? That was quite awesome. Quite awesome. Amazing.
I think if I do replay, let's see if it shows the replay of that. It does. Amazing. So I'll be able to get you guys some replays potentially as we get forward through this. But back to our main scene here.
Blistering, cold Canadian, snowy river. And they beautiful smiles on their face. Our bro Luke here is the president for that.
Still waiting on Isaac Crawford. I believe this is it. I'm not sure. Just waiting on some text from Scott, so I'll let you guys know once I've got all the data and information.
Alright, we're moving on to the next heat. If you're a boater in heat number 2, Scott's looking at this in the giblet turn, and
No, I think that's still our first heat, just having fun being out there. I hear the judges telling everybody to get in their boats, I believe, so we can get this started, or out of the eddy, whichever one. But they are looking to keep this running pretty quickly. We have a long day. I might be sitting here talking to you guys for the next, like, 6 hours. So,
Jaden, Eric Holloway, Zach Stanford, Evan Hindmarsh.
there we hear
Voice must have put you all to sleep. But it's
that
time to
heat
wake up and get on the water.
ready to go. They're trying to get them in the water.
And by the way,
Got to rally the juniors.
who's on gate number 3? We have Bennett, Matthew, James, Lyndon, and Mano. Put your hands up. Wave them around your head. Now get warmed up because you're after heat 2 on this.
Maybe they were all sleeping on shore. I don't know what the weather is there, but it's looking really nice. Let's have a quick look. Kananaskis, Alberta. It looks sunny.
Gate number 2 is gracefully sliding onto the water. I see we have Zach. He's like, wait a minute. I'm about to go downstream here. Yeah, if you're a boater, make sure you have everything on and ready. Like maybe your helmet strap needs to be
Yeah, it is
strapped.
actually at 24 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy, gorgeous. So I think we're going with Isaac here.
You don't have to have a paddle. I strongly suggest the skirt.
Bib number 2, if that is Isaac, he's doing that spin to loop. No, I think they're just warming up. Bib number 2 is actually Jaden, so that's Jaden just giving in his warm-up. Isaac is going to be our first to go. He's going to be bib number 10, so we're waiting on that. Everyone's still warming up. They're trying to rally the troops and get everybody in the water.
All right, let's see. We got heat number 2. Isaac not present. Jaden, are you present? Jaden's present. We got Eric Holloway. Ready. We got Zach and Nevin getting ready. All right, so just this guy.
I see Jaden going out for another practice.
Over there on River Right. Do you guys know a boater named Isaac? All right. I need a volunteer on the far side. Everybody, put your hands up.
Are they still looking for Isaac?
Yeah, dog. He might be upstream. You got Devin upstream there.
I think I hear a thumbs up.
Number 2. The two.
Oh,
here we go. The music
I think we're going straight to Jaden, actually. Bib number 2, I believe that is Jaden. Guess they couldn't find Isaac. Jaden immediately spinning it up. Almost pulling off the back of the fish. You'll see if he can get back in here.
Okay, you're back in. Good job, bud. All right. Another spin to the left. He's going to find that loop. Goes for a sweep
Looking
loop.
for the loop, bringing it all the way around.
Jaden pushes the loop.
Just trying to
Or something
retain it.
else.
Looking for the Space Godzilla
Coming back.
to the right, I believe, and unfortunately not landing it, not sticking it. So that's going to be ride number 1 for Jaden.
Next voter.
Also, if you guys find the in-person commentator's voice a little too loud over mine, you guys just let me know. I can move things around, or if it's good, just give me a thumbs up. Next up, Eric Holroyd.
At the top of the eddy. He's going to be doing what we call an entry move. It's a very special twisty from above. Coming on down. Looking at the hole.
Looking for the entry move from the top, but unfortunately flushing. Looks like he needed to be a little bit more to the left of the feature to manage to retain that, and that's going to be it. So, you know how we were talking about being able to, you have to actually attain the feature to start. So that's kind of the risk with the entry move. An entry move can get you points on the board as you enter the feature before your time pretty much starts. Your time starts when you attain the feature. However, as soon as you make contact and you rotate that trick, you have attained it. So if you flush, that's it. Nothing you can do about it. But now, Zachary Stansfield Jones spinning it up to the left. Unfortunately, that devilish left shoulder kicking it off the back as well. And now that I can actually hear things, you guys can actually hear the audio. Unless that was Zach.
Devin gets a thumbs up from the judges.
Yeah, that was. I might have gotten some of these wrong.
Does a little shimmy. They saw the girls
Now we have
down,
Nevin.
they go crazy.
So I guess they did actually let him paddle back up.
And it's paddling downstream with a lot of speed, everybody. Looking for that wing over.
Beautiful wing over. Does he manage to retain it? Yes, he does. So that's going to be a beautiful set of points on the board before his time starts. Spin to the left. Huge loop. This is a massive first ride so far for Nevin Hindmarsh. Looking to spin it up, trying to set himself back up on the foam pile. Looking for the Space Godzilla to the right, I think. That was fantastic. Huge points so far. Again, using that shoulder nice and clean, trying to get himself back up on the top of the foam pile, catching a bit of an edge, maybe trying to bring it into a cartwheel. Let's see what he's got. Plugging in, looking for the spacey the other direction, brings it around, and we're going to have to see what the judges say about that, but absolute stunning ride out of Nevin.
Going for a backy loopy. Not quite more like a backhand. He's going to search the giblet. Search the giblet. Yep, there it is. There it is.
So now, since it seems that we are without Isaac, this is going to be a 4-person heat. So we're going to be going back up probably to Jaden, unless Isaac is now here. But I'm going to throw Jaden's name up for ride 2.
306 is the present score to beat by Nevin Hindmarsh. We found our way back to Jaden.
Jaden now dropping in. Looking to control on the left side again. Link to a loop attempt, but doesn't quite get the pop and bringing it around. He's working really hard trying to get back into the feature so he can keep his points going, but that's going to be it. It was a great effort, but that's going to be ride 2 for Jaden now as we move to Eric Holroyd, who this time is going from below.
But now he's like, it's not worth the 30 points.
Wait.
You get more points with the loop. Next time, he says, it's okay, man, you do you.
Yeah, there he is. He might. I think he's going to go from below here. We'll see if he tries to paddle back all the way up top to get an entry, or opt to just catch a nice clean initial surf.
paddling from above. Make sure he gets this
Here he goes.
surf on the wave.
Maybe thinking about the wing over entry, but deciding not to, spinning it up. Looking for maybe a shove it, not quite getting it around. A shove it is a half spin, and you bring it back, so 180 one direction and 180 the other with a single paddle stroke. There's a spin linked to loop. That was a lot of air, but he just flung him just onto his head above the feature, and that's going to be it for that second ride for Eric Allroyd.
Athletes who are on River Right. You guys know what River Right is? Everybody on River Right, put your hands up. River Left, put your hands up. River Right, put your
For
hands
those in
up.
chat who
Also
don't
on
know
River
paddling
Right, if you're a
lingo,
competitor,
looking
you
at you, Blake.
check the WhatsApp.
You have river left and river right, and surfers left and surfers right. It's kind of self-explanatory, but river left and river right is perspective from going down a river, and surfers left, surfers right is your perspective from surfing, so looking upstream. But now, Zachary, looking for his second ride, spinning it up, looking for that controlled. Unfortunately, gets a little edge, and that's going to be a flush out for ride number 2.
Put our hands together. All right, everybody, take your eyeballs and send them upstream because that's where Nevin Highmark's coming from. He's our current leader with a score of 306. Let's see if he can increase it. Pump it up, Nev.
So I hear some scores in the background. I haven't been getting any scores really yet. But there's an entry from Nevin looking to get some points on the board right off the bat. See if he can get back up, but that might be it. It was great effort, and he waves it off because he's still got 2 more rides to go.
Nevin's surfing back in. Jason, you're back in the top, young sir. Yeah, Jason. I like it. He's got the matchy boat. See, he's got the red on red.
Now we've got Jaden coming in for his third ride. Getting a nice controlled side surf, spinning it around. Everyone using that left shoulder, looking for the loop. Doesn't get as much air as I think I wanted. Definition of a loop, rough definition of a loop, is you need to initiate with the bow. Ooh, there's a cartwheel. Beautiful. It's the first one we've seen today. Absolutely love that trick. It's an old classic, and it's essential in modern playboating because you can link a cartwheel into pretty much anything. And the way a link bonus works is, let's say I want a loop. Well, I might cartwheel into my loop. Well, then I'll get the link on the cartwheel and the link on the loop. Out of the loop, I might go back into a cartwheel, let's say the other direction, so cartwheel right. Well, now I get the link on the cartwheel right. But now when I land the cartwheel, I link it into a different trick like a McNasty, and I don't get the second link bonus on the cartwheel, but I get the link bonus on the McNasty, and then you can just keep cartwheeling into every trick. And again, you can't get the link bonus a second time on the cartwheel, but you do get the link bonus on the other trick that you complete. So, absolutely essential trick to learn if people are out there on the water. If anybody's watching this, paddling, just getting into it, you want to get into freestyle. That's what you want to be doing. You want to be cartwheeling. And now we have Eric Holroyd looking for that wing over entry level 1. Spinning it up to the left, but unfortunately just goes a little too far, a little too confident on that green shoulder. Is going to kick him off the back of the wave. This is going to be it for his third ride.
We got 30 points. Zach. Onto the wave.
Now Zachary dropping in, looking to establish a nice surf, trying to set himself up in the right spot. using that shoulder to spin, but again, just a little too far off. Something you're seeing a lot is coming to spin around. Let's say you start forward, you get that 180 facing backwards, and you go to 180 the other direction. You want to keep the boat really flat. The boat has edges underneath, and the stern is the part that's the catchiest on the green water. So if I am facing back surfing and I want to bring the bow back around, if I lean, let's say I'm bringing it back around towards, let's say I'm spinning left, right? So I start rotating counterclockwise, and I start rotating counterclockwise from a back surf, and I lean to my right, well, I'm sinking my downstream edge, and that will pull me out of the feature. So not something you want to do, but now we have Nevin showing what you want to do, going for that entry move into a loop. He's definitely had one of the highest scoring rides. I'm not sure what the number was, but I believe it was in the 300 and something so far, or that was combined. But now spinning it around, showing the control, plugging in, looking maybe for a Space Godzilla. Again, that loop with that corked rotation. Doesn't quite find it, but he's still in the feature, so he's still got time to make this work. There it is, still looking for it, but again, you see the paddle, he's rotating his body, looking for that twist, but the boat's just not obeying him at the moment. He's got one more attempt. You heard that whistle. There is the Space Godzilla, but he does land it upside down. So that's going to be it for Nevin's third ride here. And yeah, you heard the whistle, right? So you're going to get like one whistle, one short little whistle at the when you have 10 seconds left. And then when the ride's over, you get a big long blast. That way you know that your ride is done and your 45 seconds are up on the feature. And now with that, we're going to be going back up to the top of this heat for the fourth and final rides of heat number 2 in these preliminary rounds. We got 4 heats total, so there's still more to go. I'm not sure how much of a pause we'll have between the next one. So now back to the top of the order here with Jaden. Jaden spinning it up nice and calm on the left side. Looking for that cartwheel, bringing that edge around, maybe even keeping it clean. Clean being at one portion of the rotation of the trick, does not use the paddle. Beautiful loop. This is the ride that he's been looking for this entire heat, and he's finally found it just in time. Looking for the Space Godzilla, but unfortunately catches a bit of a flush, and that is fantastic out of Jaden. Just in time for his last ride of the heat. So again, you know, it is combined. So your top 2 rides combined count to find the placements to make the top 5. And it is an aggressive cut. We're going from 21, well, I guess 20 now that Isaac isn't there. But we're going to 20 down to 5 paddlers for the finals. So really aggressive. Everyone throwing everything they got at this. And the next person to be doing that is going to be Eric Holroyd. I have all the names of all the paddlers listed so I can toggle them on and off. And I've been staring at them so much that I almost said erichallroyd.png the entire thing. So I heard something that sounded like a 143. Something I may end up getting from Scott, it was rather than a continuous run of all the people starting, is scores for you guys. But we might do that for the next heat as Eric is jumping straight into the feature for his final ride, looking to spin it up on the left side. Still not quite happy with that position, trying to find the exact spot to plug. Doesn't want to waste his ride on a bad flush. And now looking for that cartwheel, only brings the bow around, can't bring it around for the stern. Just beautiful spins, though. Super good control. He's still looking for that cartwheel. Gets the bow around again, but this time falls over vertical and flushing out for his fourth and final ride.
Does that wave actually have a name? Does anybody know? Giblet now. Yeah. That. That's good to go. Yep, making sure his head's on straight. There we go. That's paddling on out.
And now, Zachary Stansfield-Jones, final ride, looking to make something out of that unintentional nosedive, but just can't bring it around, so that's going to be an unfortunate end to his last ride and the heat for him. And we're going to be going down to our last athlete here before we move on to Heat 3 with Nevin Hindmarsh.
Wrapped straight out of 2002.
Nevin, beautiful catch. Looking to spin it around, finding that initial plug. Wasn't quite happy with that one, so instead he's going to spin it back around to the right. We haven't seen a lot of right spins. I think a lot of paddlers are nervous on that shoulder. It's really fleshy, really small. Plugging for a massive loop. Managing to retain. Definitely seen probably one of the highest scoring rides to date so far out of this kid. And there is the Space Godzilla to the right. Spinning around, he's going to want that Space Godzilla to the left. I know it. There's maybe an attempt, maybe ending up turning it into an air wheel, which is a cartwheel with air, getting window shaded just a bit, but he's still in the feature. I don't even know how he stayed in there. But yeah, that was the final. And looking for the style, managing to try to throw the paddle, looking to catch it, doesn't quite find it. If you do it during a competition, during your ride, there is such a thing that was added called style bonus. But you have to do it during your ride, and it's really risky, and I probably wouldn't recommend throwing your paddle mid-ride. But that was fantastic. Beautiful showmanship there out of Nevin as we get ready for our third heat in these preliminary rides. Our third heat here, we're going to be looking for Bennett Whalen, Matthew Cardinal, James Van Gelswick, Lyndon Gilman, Menno Frazen. Bib 36, 34, 680, 218, and 274, respectively.
All boaters are ready. That happened nicely, everybody. Practice it up, practice it up. Yes, the practice rides are pure charity from the judges.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, they are not allowed, but because we were asked so politely.
They're just going for some practice rides. As you heard the MC say, normally not allowed, but hey, we're into some fun competition here.
It's not a practice ride, not your real ride. Oh yeah, speaking of sponsors, I want to say thank you to all the parents out there. Hey, if you're a parent and you're here, raise your hand. All right, now.
I absolutely love whoever's emceeing this right now. So fun.
And you say, tell me thank you for bringing me out here today and having all the good times, paying all this money, and all this time, and for bringing you into this world.
Again, as we get ready for this third, second to last heat for the junior cadet men's, we're going to be seeing bib number 34, Bennett Whalen, bib number 6, Matthew Cardinal, bib number 80, James Van Gelswick, bib number 218, Lyndon Gilman, and bib number 274, Menno Frazen.
The judges have said we're done. We're not doing any more competition.
For anybody who's just tuning in to the live stream, welcome to my channel. This is a spot where I'm planning on having a lot more whitewater paddling content, hopefully some live stream of other events, maybe branch out into slalom as well, maybe here in Ottawa, so something we're going to be looking into. But welcome to the channel. As you can see, if you do have a Twitch account, you can chat away with the rest of the community, get involved. And another neat function is Twitch Prime, which is a premium version of Twitch, is included with Amazon Prime. So if you do have an Amazon Prime account, you can link it to link it to Twitch and actually subscribe to the channel for free. Normally it's $7, but Twitch Prime does, or Amazon Prime does give you one free per month, and that helps. That's going to help basically keep paying for the time I spend trying to get this project working and trying to bring more live kayaking to everybody. So thanks again for tuning in right here at the Canadian National Whitewater Championships.
Bennett's on the legs. You're doing good, bud. He was back at me like, you got my score, right?
We're just waiting on the thumbs up. I think it's just starting. I think that is Bennett going on for his ride, looking for that Space Godzilla. Big loop, almost bringing it clean.
Looking good, bro. Looking so good. What's he gonna do this time?
Plugging in, looking, oh my gosh, Space Godzilla with massive air to the right. His head didn't even touch the water the entire time, so that you might even see a bonus go on there. Now, Space Godzilla's require air bonus to count in the first place, so there's no bonus for that. But you can still score huge, so maybe we just saw one. Now we're going to be getting ready for Matthew Cardinal. First of 4 rides.
Matthew, James, Lyndon, Menno. That's a really good score. Just know 306.666 is the score to beat.
Here we go with Matthew Cardinal. Sorry, I realized that the name did not show up on the stream, but for Bennett at the beginning. But here, Matthew Cardinal looking to plug in for that big loop to kick off his ride, but he's just a little too far on that left shoulder, and that's going to be a flush for ride 1. And just in Bennett's first run score, we actually do have scores coming in now. Thanks again, shout out to Scott, who's basically going to be spending his day on his phone texting me updates. But that's going to allow this production to be that much better. So Bennett's run number 1 coming in at a 266. We're going to wait to see what Matthews came in as. But here we have James Van Gelswick dropping in. Looking for that first plug. Massive loop. Beautiful control. We saw him at the Eastern Team Trials in Valleyfield, Quebec, and he threw down massive, actually taking first place. Here he goes, looking for those left cartwheels, trying to keep that stern end over 45 degrees to count. Still looking for that setup. You see him using a lot more of the surfer's right side, and there's a beautiful Space Godzilla. Looking for the Space Godzilla the other direction, but unfortunately flushes off, doesn't find the rotation, and the stern just kind of pitons into the water and pushes him out. So that's going to be it for James's first run. Matthew Cardinal's first run from earlier came in with a 0 on that one, so he's going to be looking to improve going into run number 2. but that was a great first ride out of James. James's first run coming in at a 120 points. As we go to the next in the order, Lyndon Gilman dropping in for his first ride. Nice and controlled. Trying to find that spot maybe to set up for a spin. That is very good, keeping it nice and fast as he catches that stern end. Can be tricky to surf. Oh no, he goes way too far to the left, and that's going to be a flush. So we'll have to wait and see. But if he did get all 3 judges to score a spin, that would be 10 points. Yeah, and that's a 10 points locking in for Lyndon's first run. Bottom of the order, Menno Faison, representing Alberta Playboaters, as you could just hear there. Dropping in, looking for that setup, trying to spin around on the right, catching that stern end. Does manage to bring the spin around, but maybe goes a little too vertical and unfortunately catches a little bit off balance, flushing him off the side of the wave. Again, if that is 3 judges on a spin, that will be a 10-point ride for Menno.
You're good, buddy. You're good.
So we go back. Oh, yeah, no, that person isn't competing. They're just having fun.
Paddle non-stop. Non-stop. Literally 5 seconds before coming out here and hitting that left spin.
Oh, that was a nice loop.
And also rocking slalom kick.
No bib, so not competing. But maybe competing a little later or something.
That'll do it for your ride, buddy.
Or he was? I'm confused. There's no bib. Oh, it's Isaac. Oh, we're going way back into heat number 2. We got Isaac. Let me throw that name up there. There he is. Isaac. Going for his first ride. I guess missed his heat 3.
Yeah, Isaac putting up 140 points onto the scoreboard. Not quite going to get him there, but...
Not sure where his bib is, but that's the friendliness of this competition. Now we got Bennett Whalen.
Going out there.
Top of this heat. Looking to spin it around. Going for a huge Space Godzilla. But unfortunately lands and surfs himself straight up. But that should count in to some degree, due to he was able to retain a surf before flushing off. We'll have to wait and see. But going back a few competitors, Menno's run 1 came in at a 6.7, so 2 out of 3 judges scored the spin, and Isaac's run 1 came at a 140 points. So good showing.
And it's crushing to score 110 on that ride. 110.
Now we're going down to Matthew Cardinal.
Man's cruising out onto the wave, staring down that profile, establishing a surf going straight into a huge air loop.
Matthew looking for that loop. I think he does manage to get that. He's trying to best his first ride score of 0, but he's already just styling on it. There's that cartwheel to the right. Doesn't think he scored it. Looking for the cartwheel linked to loop. That's going to be massive points. Again, we talked about those cartwheels and the links, how important they are. Space Godzilla towards, again, I'm getting so confused there. That looks like a Space Godzilla to the left maybe, but the perspective is confusing me just a little bit. I'm so used to seeing features from the river right side. There's that 10-second buzzer. He's looking for the McNasty. Doesn't quite bring it around, but that means, you know, maybe that's something we're gonna be seeing shortly. Looking for a huge air loop, bringing it all the way around. I forgot to update. This is ride 2 of 4, and that was exactly what Matthew was looking for in his first, and he finally finds it. That's going to be absolutely massive. Bennett before him, second run, coming in at a 110. So current combined, run 1 and 2, is a 376 for Bennett, as we wait for that absolutely massive ride to come in from Matthew before moving on to James.
Score 240 from Matt. Put your hands together. Stout ride. Next up is James.
Sounded like a 240, so that's going to be his current combined 240 after his first ride at 0, but that's a good comeback here as James dropping into the feature, looking for that massive. We've seen him throw huge earlier and in previous competitions, and there's that first big loop, bringing it around nice and snappy.
Here we go.
Looking for that Space Godzilla. Right side. Here we get some nice clean cartwheels. Beautiful angle. Those were textbook. Spin it around, looking for those small points as well. Looking for the Space Godzilla the other direction. Does he manage to retain? And no, he's just a little too far to the left. That's going to be ride 2, but that's going to be a ride to be proud of. That was fantastic showing from James.
They had it all. They had all the sauce in there. Let's see. Judges are tabulating. We'll see how many moves we got in there. Score of 176 for James. Yeah, style bonus. Good thing you're smiling.
Also, it's a pretty massive competition today. I think we have nearly 40 competitors here as Linden drops into the feature. James's second run coming in at a 176. Well, I'll see what Linden's got for us in store. Catches a bit of a stern edge trying to spin it around, and unfortunately that's going to flush him off for his second ride. Linden's first ride with a 10. James now having a combined score of 296. I think we're going right into Menno here. Spinning it up, trying to link the loop, but gets a little bit off kilter on that.
Yeah, Menno. Catch the giblet! Yeah! Woo! Isaac, let's see the style bonus you'll start. Isaac.
And now we got Isaac Crawford from the previous heat, but paddling in this one instead.
Isaac spinning to the left.
Spinning, looking for that loop. Nice snappy air, catches a bit of an edge, but manages to retain with a beautiful back deck roll.
There we go. Isaac finding his
Spinning around, maybe trying to set up for a McNasty.
Don't stop paddling forward.
Still got some time.
Staying on the wave there, Isaac. He wants a move. He wants something. There's a special something there. One whistle blast from the timer. Spinning. Maybe get the
Still looking to set himself up. I'm pretty sure he wants that McNasty here. He's trying to blast it around, looking to catch the edge, looking for the plug, but doesn't bring it around. That's a great attempt. You could see he really wanted that the entire time. But great second run here out of Isaac.
Noticing a few boaters are showing up here from upstream. Hi, upstream boaters. How's everybody doing?
Also, Blake in chat on Twitch wanting some sort of live graphic for standings, and I would absolutely love to, but it is basically me having to manually type everything, so I'm going to do my best. But we're dropping straight here back to the top of the heat with Bennett. Bennett looking for that Space Godzilla in his third ride, trying to make something work.
Want this kind of
There's a
air
huge
loop.
air loop.
That is. Bennett coming back
Now
in
plugging
for
again, massive Space Godzilla to the right.
Godzilla to the right. Bennett just staring down the corner there. He wants
There's the McNasty, and he brings it around. That is a absolutely huge scoring trick here in the junior category. He's going to be super happy with that. Looking for the cartwheel. Can he retain it? He does. Finds that cartwheel. Does surf off the shoulder, but he's going to be psyched because that's an absolutely massive ride here from Bennett Whalen.
That ride's going to take quite a long time to tabulate.
Or we might have to wait a little bit here as the judges have to make all of these scores work. But in the meantime, maybe I can make a spreadsheet for you guys.
Hey, young man, Maurice down there. How you doing, buddy? Thumbs up? All right, we're going to try something special while the judges are tabulating. Spectator side. I want to see a wave. We're going to start with all spectators under the tree, which is all y'all. Actually, the most upstream, and we're going to do the wave all the way down to the bottom. Ready? Starting up here. We're going to do the wave. Go! And the wave is off, and we're going down here. Yes, and we're continuing down to the bottom. Show us the wave. The wave.
I love that they're trying to get a wave going. I'd love to see how many people are actually there right now because that's pretty sick. I love it. Nationals is always a fun event to go to. Lots of people from different disciplines all coming together to compete together. Now, the reason it's so exciting is because you're trying to score points, and I forgot the name. For the life of me, I can never remember the name of the cup, so maybe someone in chat will have me covered on that. But the idea is you want to be able to accumulate as many points as possible for your province so that your province can take home the something cup.
Feeling out onto the wave.
So everybody basically competes across all the different disciplines, tries new ones just to see if they can find those medals and those points. And here's Matthew Cardinal starting it off with a massive loop off the gate. Looking for a second, but does flush. Yes, the Brian Creer Cup. Thank you, Daniel, for that in chat, coming in clutch. But yeah, that's going to be it for Matthew Cardinal's second ride. But yeah, everyone's trying to get that Brian Creer Cup for their province or territory and trying to bring that home for their org. So everyone's trying different disciplines, getting into new sports, trying all the categories, trying to see what they can do. But here, James Gelswick representing Ontario. I don't know where a lot of them are specifically representing from, but I do know James is here from Ontario looking for that huge air loop.
Coming back onto the wave.
Looking for, maybe he was trying to turn that into a McNasty, but just keeps that cartwheel going. Spin into the Space Godzilla. We'll see if he gets enough air for that to count. There's the Spacey the other direction, maybe. I think that might have been the other. If not, he's just trying to get it again, knowing that it may not have been aerial enough. There's the Spacey the other direction, finally. But that one, definitely not enough air. So, yeah, he did through the first one. Maybe felt like the air wasn't enough to score, so he's like, I better go back to it, try it again, try to get those points in. And it definitely looked like it helped, because that second one looked like a nice, crispy, perfect Space Godzilla. By the way, Bennett's third run came in with a score of 433.33. Highest score of the day so far. Fantastic. And Matthew before that 90 as we wait now for James's score. Next paddler in the eddy, we've got Lyndon Gilman. Lyndon dropping into the feature for his third ride. James's third ride coming in at 176.66. Linden unfortunately getting a flush there. Unfortunate for his third ride, but he's got one more to go before this heat is over.
Paddling onto the wave. Stop there.
Next up, Meno. Spinning it up, left side. Plugging in and trying to make that work, but just gets ejected out of the feature. Bit of an unlucky shot there. One more ride to go, as we're going to move down to Isaac.
I got Isaac on it. Paddle onto that wave. Here's the clip. Oh my gosh, he's paddling straight upstream. What?
Wow.
That was so cool. That was honestly the best entry.
Isaac's got some style going on here, having some fun.
Super snappy, and the fact that he like somehow paddled all the way upstream from downstream to do that was.
I think that might make up his third ride though, if that was the start of it.
Alright. Motor coming in from up top, we got Bennett.
That is, and we're going back to the top of the order for their fourth and final rides in this heat.
I don't know how you do that.
Bennett Whalen lining up from the top, maybe looking for that entry move. Had an absolutely enormous third ride, and now there it is, entry move, getting those points on the board early, spinning it around left side, keeping nice and quick. He knows the pacing, he knows what he's got to do, looking for that massive loop, maybe even getting a spacey on that. It'll all depend on the rotation in mid-air. Plugging in, huge loop, super snappy, managing to retain that. Continuing to spin it around, looking for that setup, looking for the Space Godzilla. Man, he can fly.
What's left? Cartwheels, maybe a McNasty?
Now looking for the McNasty. Doesn't quite bring it around for that loop. The loop does have to be a clean, kind of straight rotation. But he's going to try again. Looking for it again, but not quite finding that elusive McNasty on his fourth ride. But that is fantastic. We love to see it.
And then rock out a spinny edge carbon front flippy jam.
As we get ready for Matthew Cardinal, who's going to be kicking off his last ride of this heat.
$3.56 for Bennett's ride there. That fired up the
And here comes Matthew. Fourth and final ride in these preliminary rounds. Had some pretty good rides going into the last one. Now starting it off with a massive loop. Plugging it in for another one. Maybe was trying to get a more controlled plug for that Space Godzilla, but decided, nah, I gotta throw the loop just to save it, stay in the feature. Looking maybe for Spacey, but cartwheeling out of it by accident. At the end of the day, he's managing to stay in, which is what's important. Looking for the cartwheel into loop, which is something we saw him do earlier. It's massive points, but it all depends if that stern end achieves that over 45-degree angle. And now looking for the Space Godzilla, gets the spin, doesn't find the Space Godzilla continuously, but decides to go for the loop anyway. And that's going to be it for Matthew Cardinal in these preliminaries. I am working on a quick little sheet to show in the background, but it might end up being more useful for the later categories than the juniors because I don't have the scores of heats number 1 and 2, so I won't be able to give a proper preview of that. But we've got James now dropping in for his final ride. Matthew's run coming in at a 1:30. Plugging in for a loop makes those look real easy.
Yeah, bro.
Spinning it around to the left. Looking for that Space Godzilla, not getting the air he was looking for. I'm sure we're going to see him try that again.
Good, man. Don't stop.
There's that Spacey the other way, but it yet to be seen whether the judges think the boat achieved the angle. He doesn't think so, so he's gone for it again, but again, not quite finding the air. He's just trying to make something work here. He's got 10 seconds left on this buzzer for his final ride. This is our reigning champion from the east coming out west, trying to make his mark. And on that buzzer, maybe lands a cartwheel for his 4th ride, and we're going to have to wait and see what that comes out as. Oh, I see we got some camera adjusting happening. But right now, we've got Lyndon in the feature, lining up, final ride.
Lyndon on the wave.
Let's see if he can make it through to the next round. Again, aggressive cut. I believe we're going straight to finals out of this, so that means we're cutting from 20 to 5. And unfortunately, Lyndon catches a stern edge on that one, and that's going to be a flush.
Right. Who do we got up? Meno, I think?
But what that means is this heat is almost fully wrapped up here as we're moving on to Menno Frazen. Oh no, our video's gone. Well, that's not good. Hopefully that comes back. I do have some updates though for points. I'm still waiting for a video to come back here. But Menno's final round came out at a 20 points. Lyndon 0. James's final ride came out at a 136.67. I'm going to have to let them know that their camera died, so... maybe that was something about them adjusting that camera earlier, causing that. Yeah. Luckily, I'm still getting updates, so we know the points. Current leader, I believe, is going to be Bennett, who had a... I think that's like a combined score of like 789.33, which is amazing. Okay, so apparently someone was fiddling with the camera and it's now dead, so they're gonna fix that. They're gonna fix that right up. In the meantime, while we wait for the fourth and final heat of junior men's, I'll send you back to my camera here. You guys can see my mug. And let's have a look at who we're kicking off the next heats with. So heat number 4 is going to be Blake Booth, Pascal Fels, Kai Wetter, Benjamin Gulaska, and Jordy Monroe. So they're still working on getting that feed up. But current leaders, I believe, I don't have a full top 5 yet sitting here because I don't have a way to count points properly because nobody sent me something and it's just honestly a lot of work to type it all in. I think we have current leaders are Bennett. I believe then James. I know we also had Nevin pulled off a phenomenal run, so I think it might look something like Bennett, James, Nevin, Isaac, something like that, and then our fifth current leader. Not 100% sure who that is at the moment, but we're still waiting on the video to come back. Hopefully you guys are all having a nice day. Thanks again for stopping by the stream. Got a whole 18 of you guys watching. It's fantastic. And hoping to be able to bring more of this type of content to you guys. The idea is that me or any other caster, I could even bring someone in right now. If someone wanted to join me on Discord or in live, I can bring a second commentator on pretty much any time. But the idea is to bring this type of energy and this type of production to any small event. You got a small kayaking event, we can do it. Just point us a camera. As long as you got a phone, we got a feed, and you've got a live event going. So we're trying to bring it to, right now we're doing freestyle, hopefully bring some slalom as well. So if any slalom people are in chat looking for it, maybe get some pump house races here in Ottawa, which would be pretty cool. But again, for now, looking at the next heat, we're looking at Blake Booth, Pascal Fels, Kai Wetter, Benjamin Gulaska, and Jordy Monroe. And those are going to be the fourth and final paddlers to round out the junior cadet men's. Before we move on to our junior cadet women's category as well. So they are only 6. So they do get a preliminaries as well, which is pretty cool to cut to the top 5. But there is one cadet paddler in there as well, so. My apologies to everyone here as we wait for a feed. They think someone fiddled with the camera on the side of the river, and they just try to reconnect all that. Fix my face cam. No, this is a good face cam ratio. I like it. Yes, and as Daniel clarified, 2 paddlers in this. They are 4 nationals. For the national championships, they are junior. But for team trials to compete in Spain next year in Sort, both Jordy and Benji are qualifying as U23 category, which is a new category by the International Canoe Federation. Now, I think they're called Paddle Worldwide or something like that. But yeah, it's a new category, and it's pretty cool to see. So 5 U23 men and 5 U23 women get to qualify for team and try to get a chance to compete at the World Championships along with the juniors, which is 3 per, so 3 for women, 3 for men for juniors, and senior men and senior women is also 5 paddlers each. So it adds up to 10 paddlers per country, which is amazing, and a stepping stone for the juniors. You know, juniors coming in, jumping into the boots of senior category, not easy to do at all. We're still waiting on the feed. Hopefully it's not completely broken. We'll have to find out. That's what happens when people touch things. But in the meantime, what I can do is I could show you guys some, while I wait for the feed to go live again, just some details on criteria. So essentially, for the team trials, we've done this for the last few selections. We've split trials between East and West just because we want more people to compete, and we can't expect everyone to, if they're going to be paying to go overseas for World Championships, it's a lot to ask for everybody to be traveling across the country as well. So we split it between two. And you may ask how, if it's an odd number per category that make team. And it is with a multiplier that is set by Trevor, our head judge, between the two different features. So kind of have a look here, see if I can find the selection criteria, which would be really nice to find. Give me a second. I need to hide something here. And there it is. So I can keep an eye on whether the live stream comes back. If we have a look at freestyle, here on the Canoe Kayak website, you can find all the criteria and information. So team selection procedures, I believe it's in here. There is a multiplier, and I'm just trying to find that number so that you guys kind of understand the way it works. So there's the amount of people that can qualify, including C1 and OC1 as well. So 2 OC1, 3 C1. I think it might be in the supplement document. Here we go. So here we see the two events. And here we go. The wildcard. Well, I just found a typo in our own document. But the wildcard system. I'm just still waiting on them to see if they can get their stream fixed as well. They might have to send me a new video link. But yeah, so if we look here, there's a wildcard system. So we have two separate events, and people can compete at both if they'd like to increase their chances. But essentially, 2 qualify from the East, 2 qualify from the West for Senior and U23, and the 5th is a wild card for the 2 third-place positions. And that is based off of a multiplier score. So, for example, let's say the East feature is significantly more difficult at the moment. So you see the adjustment factor, and you basically do this math. So let's say an athlete on the 3rd place position scores 20 points in the East feature, and the 3rd place position scores 200 points on the West feature. You use the adjustment factor, and you find the winner. So there's a advantage to the East feature for this year due to Manic being this one right here, the Manic feature in Valleyfield being significantly harder than Chubby's feature out west. But yeah, that's how we decide the wild card. And wild card, you have wild card for every category. So in juniors, where there's 3, you have the winner of both East and West qualify, and a wild card for the with the 2nd place positions from both events as well. Open canoe, it's 2, so it's just 1 from each place. If only people compete from, so currently there's no OC1 competing in the West. Oh, okay, so I've heard that they're just finishing the heat before updating the stream. So I'm not sure if that means they... Give me a second. I'm just going to check if they started Heat 4. I really hope they didn't. But if they did, I'll have to just probably go on a little break here for you guys. But yeah, so C1 is 3, so 1 from each, East and West, and a wildcard slot. So like I was saying, OC1, nobody's competing OC1 out west. So there were 2 people who competed OC1 in the east, so they would qualify. And official team announcements will be made post this event, August 23rd. Okay, so it looks like they're working on the stream now. So we're just going to keep an eye out, see if they can get that fixed. Hey, we got a stream, guys. We got a stream. It's back. Hey, you get a little tour. Let's go. We love it. You get a little tour of the eddy, which is pretty cool to see. Thanks to everyone out there making sure this runs as smoothly as possible. We're going to be getting started here with the next heat, Heat 4. Heat 4 we'll be starting off with Blake Booth. They're just taking a little pause in between. I no longer have any audio from it though, so that's unfortunate. Maybe I'll have to figure out how that broke. Maybe no, we just don't have audio anymore. That's unfortunate. We had audio for a little bit. So So now we're just waiting on the 4th and final heat of junior men's to get started. And we're going to be seeing, once again, bib number 219, Blake Booth, bib number 92, Pascal Fells, bib number 33, Kai Wetter, bib number 14, Benjamin Gulaska, and bib number 26, Jordy Monroe. But this is Blake Booth dropping into the feature, trying to make something work. Unfortunately, catching some edges, doesn't make it around. So it looks like we had some run ones already. I think now we're down to Pascal. But we had Benji with a run of 0. I'm just going to make sure before I start saying names. I'm just going to say this is Pascal at the moment. Jordy's first run was a 736.67, which we missed, unfortunately. This, I do believe, is Pascal, or... yeah, I think the last paddler was Kai, so the order is not quite what I have. So this is Pascal, looking for that McNasty. Trying to bring it around, finding it, looking for that again. Seeing if you can get that edge, throwing it around. There it is. Beautiful. Oh, okay, now there's multiple. I don't know what run we're at real quick. We just got a Pascal Blake run. Okay. Okay, so I think that might have been Blake. Sorry for the confusion here. The order is not the same as I had, so it actually starts with yeah, so that's run 2. Okay, so they were run 2. They were waiting on scores for a bunch of stuff. So Blake's second run coming in at a 383.33. His first run was a 230. Pascal's first run was a 50. That's bib number 92. Pascal. I think this is his second run. Yeah, Blake's second run coming in at 383.33. I think I mentioned that already. Now we'll be waiting on the score for Pascal. Oops. Okay, that's back. I'm trying to see if I can get the audio working again. Pascal's second run coming in at a 353.33. Now I think we go to Kai. What bib is that? Might be Benjamin. I think the bib order, the orders are a little confused now, but I believe that was Kai. This is bib number 14. This we go to Benjamin Gulaska. Looking maybe for an entry move from the Eddy. Gonna spin it around. This is he's a junior for Nationals, U23 for the national team selection. That'll be it for Benjamin's second ride. Benji having a unfortunate 0 points on his first as well, and it looks like Kai is actually going to be coming back as he did not manage to attain the feature. So I think we're going to be going with Kai, but this time Benji managing to score 30 points on his second ride. Here comes Kai once again, restarting that second ride. Does manage to attain the feature. Looking for a spin, unfortunately catches a little bit of an edge. And this time that's going to be it for ride number 2. Now we have Jordy dropping in. Oh, looks like did his skirt pop a little bit? I think it did just on the edge when he went for that entry move. Oh my gosh. Now that's aerial. That was a Space Godzilla, but absolutely huge. Maybe so big that you get a style bonus on that. Now going for the huge clean loop. This is how he's racking up those points. Going for the McNasty. Not as clean as his other stuff, but still manages to bring it around, which is the points that count. We'll see what he's got next. Keeping those spins going. Making sure he doesn't just stay stagnant on the feature. Plugging in for a Space Godzilla to the left. Looking for a Lunar. Looking for the McNasty the other direction. And that's going to be it for Jordy's second ride, and I say it, but that's absolutely massive scoring points right there. Now remember, his first ride alone came in at a 736.67, so Jordy's on a roll right now. Pretty much locking himself. Oh yeah, sup borders. Nice little faceplant there. We'd love to see it. Jordy coming out of Canmore. But now we're going to be going back to the top of the heat, starting rides number 3 with Blake Booth. I'm also going to see if I can get our audio coming in from the stream. Make it back out to all of you guys. Jordy's second ride coming in at a 783.33, but now Blake in the feature spinning it up, looking for that loop. Nice, big, and clean. Immediately linking it to another loop. I think he was hoping to go for that Space Godzilla. Didn't find the rotation. There is spin to Space Godzilla attempt. He's trying to score absolutely massive right off the bat here. Just trying to find that position. Looking for the next big trick. There it is, Plug looking for maybe an air wheel. Oh, tries the McNasty, but catches the edge a little too early. Isn't able to bring it around in a clean loop. Going for the back loop. First time we've seen that attempted today. Doesn't bring it around, but still manages to retain. That's going to be it for his third ride as we wait for the score. Just trying to send over some instructions on how to enable the audio for them. As we await Blake's, I think that's, third ride score. Before we move on to Pascal's third ride. Blake's third ride coming in at 363.33, so he's going to be quite stoked about that. His ride 1 was a 230, and ride 2 a 283.33. So almost matching his last ride. It's going to put him at over 700 points combined so far. So really good. And by the way, just for context here, Jordy's 2 rides being almost 800 points is absolutely insane. But now Pascal had a great second ride, with a 3:53.33. He's looking to best that with that absolutely huge loop into a beautifully executed Space Godzilla to the right. Wow. That McNasty, you see how he reached around with the blade, pulled it around, and he went huge. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic ride. Looking for the McNasty the other direction. Doesn't quite manage to pull it around, but now he's going for it again. There it is. Snaps it around, but unfortunately loops himself off the feature, and that's going to be his third ride. This is absolutely massive out of Pascal. Also, an update on the audio. They're going to be looking at the audio issue after this heat and the break between junior men's and junior women's. So hopefully we have audio going into that one for you guys. And a huge shout out to the 27 people joining us here live watching this final heat of junior men's. It's going to be a fantastic day. It's been a fantastic day so far. We still have many hours of competition left to go, as we still have the junior women's junior women's preliminaries, senior men's preliminaries, and then we're going to get to move over to finals. And finals, it's going to be loaded. We're cutting down all the way to 5 junior men's in the finals. Plus, I think they're adding the U23 because this is a nationals and a team trials combined. And it's going to be absolutely insane. We're going to have finals for junior men's, junior women's, senior women's, and senior men's going to be stacked. But now loading in Pascal, trying to make something work on the feature. Doesn't quite find it. Sorry, that's not Pascal, that's Kai, I think. Yeah, my bad, guys. Now we're going to go straight to Benjamin here. Benjamin dropping in. Just goes straight for it. Looking to spin around into a McNasty, but catches a bit of an edge. And that's going to be it for ride 3 for Benji here. Again, Pascal's ride 3 came in at a 456. That's absolutely massive. As now we're going to wait Benjamin's score here. Benji's ride 2 being his best at a 30. Not going to best it in ride 3. But one more ride left for them as we go to the bottom of the heat with Jordy. Jordy looking for that entry level 3 entry McNasty. Unfortunately, flushes off the back, but he's just paddled. Look at him go. There's no way he makes it back in. Oh my gosh. That's a determined guy. I think he might be too tired to do anything after that. Oh my gosh. Oh, and he just throws absolutely huge Space Godzilla into a loop. I think something broke. I think his backband might have popped there, just readjusting himself. He's already got 2 absolutely solid rides, and looking for that lunar orbit, the screen glitched a little bit, but it does look like he might have brought it around. Tricky thing with that is using just a single blade. Going for the paddle throw loop, doesn't quite find it. He knows he's got one more ride after this, so already let's say he's pretty guaranteed in the finals based off his first 2, so I don't think he's too worried. He's just having some fun. But now we're going to be moving to the top of the heat, I believe, for their 4th runs. The final runs of this heat, and not just of this heat. This is the final 5 runs of the junior men's preliminaries, and hopefully I'll be able to get some quick results out before we jump out after that. Maybe I'll get them to just get Scott here, my person on the other side communicating and getting me all the data as we go, since this is happening all the way out west, and I'm running this live stream here from Ottawa. So it's pretty cool that we can achieve that these days. Bring more paddling to everybody. Let the friends and families of all the athletes competing actually get to watch, because some of these events are in really remote, beautiful, but sometimes pretty remote locations that aren't accessible to everybody. And we live in a big country. There's lots of people all over the place. People got family everywhere. So this is a great way for people to be able to jump in, watch their friends throw down in a sport that may not be as well known as it should be. As they're still waiting on the final score for Jordy's third run. There it is. Jordy's third run locking in at a 290. Definitely going to be the throwaway run, but back to the top here, Jaden. Looking for a controlled surf, not wasting any time to not take any risks. Unfortunately, gets a little bit of a flush, and that might be it for that run, unless that was Kai. Give me a second. I think that might have been... I think the order is off a little bit. What number was that? Yeah, it's Kai. Not Jaden. I don't know what I'm saying. Or is that... What bib number is that? Okay. This looks a little bit more like it, I think. Yeah, there it is. Now we've got... Not Jaden, but... Blake back in the feature for his fourth ride. Looks for a massive loop. So the previous thing was Kai actually repeating his round number 3. But now we're back at the top. Blake looking for his tricks, but just not quite being able to retain the feature on any of them, which is unfortunate. But he's already got some really, really good rides. Again, Blake's third ride had came in with a 363.33. And a second ride of a 383.33. So combined, again, your top 2 combined are what count in preliminaries to move you to finals of over 700 points, which should definitely be enough to carry him into the top 5. So I don't think he's going to be too worried about this one. Next up, someone who may have already locked himself in. Yeah, see, Blake's fourth, I'm going to say every number here. Blake's fourth and final ride, a 103.33. So he's going to stick to the second and third ride as his 2 best. But now Pascal, already probably locked in. His third ride of a 456 was absolutely massive. And a second ride of over 200. And now he's already in the feature. He's looking for those McNasties. There it is. Nice and clean all the way around. He's going to set himself back up, looking to plug in for that loop. No, he's going for the Space Godzilla. Maybe looking for the space to loop. Trying to link those two as the bow comes back into contact with the water. There's a huge clean loop as well. This is already stacking up to be massive out of Pascal. Looking for the spacey to the left. See what he's got next. Looking for the split wheels into cartwheels. I love seeing that. Now looking split wheel the other direction into cartwheel. Can he link it into a McNasty? He's trying, looking to bring it around. He does. A little bit floppy, but we'll see what the judges say about that and if it was quick enough to count with the link. But that was fantastic. Cannot wait to see what that's gonna score, because I think it's gonna take a lot right now to topple our leader at the moment. Again, I don't have a score sheet to show you. I'm just going off the fact that nobody's come close to Jordy so far, because Jordy's got 2 almost 800-point rides. But if this is what I think it's gonna be, this might be this might put him in that second place position. As we wait patiently here for the judges to contabulate the entire 45 seconds. And, 45 seconds, it kind of looks long when you're watching it. When you're paddling, it feels like 10. But for the judges, it feels like 10 seconds that then takes like 6 minutes to figure out what the heck just happened and unravel it all. So, really awesome that they're there doing that again. It's all volunteer work. So, much appreciated to everybody who's helping out, including you see all the way on the other side of the river. There's a blue boat. One of the many volunteers also doing safety for the event, just in case someone swims or there's an incident. Whitewater kayaking and freestyle is still a extreme sport, and there is risk to it. So, if anybody in here has never seen this before, or and is like, hey, I could do that, make sure you do take some courses somewhere. You don't want to throw yourself in a situation that can get you hurt. There's lots of really wonderful kayaking schools across the country in Canada, east to west, and in the States as well. It's a global sport, so anywhere in the world, you can pretty much find this sport on any river. As now we're still waiting on the points. Pascal's four is a 736.67. That is massive. But now Kai Wetter in the feature, looking to spin it around, doesn't find it, catches an unfortunate edge. He's been looking for that spin all the entire heat and just hasn't been able to find success on it. And we're going to go straight into Benji, who's not wasting any time, going straight into the feature. Looking for a little bit of a spin, getting some style on that. Not really considered an entry, but it's still fun to watch. But ends up getting punished, spinning off to the left. Let's see if he can muscle himself back up into this feature. I'm sure everybody in person there is cheering him on, seeing if he can make it. But that's going to be it there for his ride. The feature is considered unattainable, which means you can't paddle back up, just because unless you do what Benji just did, you're not making it back into the wave within 45 seconds, so not considered attainable. And yeah, we got some local rafters coming down, enjoying the beautiful Alberta landscape in Kananaskis, and it's a phenomenal river as well. So as we're going to wait for these scores to come in, before we go into our last paddler of the junior men's preliminaries, Jordy Monroe, our current leader, although Pascal has put up a threat and a half, so Jordy better watch out in those finals. Oh, looks like they're just ending the heat. Not sure if Jordy has just decided to skip that ride or not, but yeah, let me see if I can get you guys some results so far in these preliminaries. Bear with me for a minute.